It's 2015, and we have yet another movie about Apple co-founder Steve Jobs, and it may be the best one yet. Welcome back to the Barely News Crew. I am your host here as always, Alexis, and today we bring you another movie review, the late October release, written by Aaron Sorkin. This is Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is directed by Danny Boyle and of course is co-written by Aaron Sorkin. Also starring Michael Fassbender, Kate Winslet, Seth Rogen, and Jeff Daniels. Steve Jobs chronicles three major events that happen in his life and for the company. It portrays the behind-the-scenes action of Steve Jobs and his team trying to coordinate and pull off these really huge events for Apple, and you really get a lot of insight into what actually happened. Also, you find out that Steve Jobs was not the most pleasant company to be around.
Like someone.
For one, he completely, and I had no idea if this was actually true, disregards that he has an actual daughter for the better part of her childhood, which, in all due respect, is kind of douchey. And you somewhat feel for him, because yes, he's Steve Jobs. He invented the devices that we use on a daily basis, and you get to see all of the events that lead up to that success. But at the same time, you see him just being a complete asshole to virtually every single human being, absolutely does not care for any of their feelings whatsoever, and yet at the same time, you root for him because of the ideas that he has that no one else can see. He was brilliant, successful, and a true visionary. And people like a winner. Just look at Donald Trump.
Somebody's doing the raping.
Somebody's doing the right.
Michael Fassbender really just kept me entranced in every single word, every single syllable he was saying. I will proclaim that his performance as Steve Jobs is one of the best acting performances, not only this year, but I would dare say of the past maybe 10 years. I have not been as intimidated, and this is Steve Jobs we're talking about here, I have not been as intimidated by a performance than that of J.K. Simmons in Whiplash. Major props to Kate Winslet as Joanna, who is pretty much his assistant, and tries her damned best to keep him in check. The confrontations that she put herself in, and the way she was the only real person, I think, here on the team that could really challenge Jobs and like, okay, no, you effed up here, go and fix this. So major props to Kate Winslet portraying Joanna here. Seth Rogen was actually pretty remarkable as Steve Wozniak. You kind of forget that that guy has real talent out there as far as an actor, and you bought their relationship, Jobs and Wozniak, and how rocky it was from the beginning and how it kind of continued to morph and to evolve. And there's this really big confrontation towards the end that I'll just say I kind of wanted to walk out of the room. But a lot of the movie is really dependent on the dialogue here. If you're going to have a movie where basically all that happens is people talking and talking and talking, you better have a lot of interesting words to say and a really fascinating and unique way of interpreting and saying that. A lot of these major scenes in the movie are confrontational, somewhat awkward, and unpleasant to just look at. I think what's truly remarkable and to note of here is the tenacity and ingenuity that was Steve Jobs, and how stunningly he was able to recover from those disasters to become one of the most ingenious people that have ever walked the earth. I think really puts a lot of things that we do in our very own lives into a matter of perspective. What else can I say about this movie? It's brilliantly written, directed wonderfully, and it's an excellent film with top-notch acting performances that is truly a modern-day biopic. It doesn't depict an entire person's life, but only individual moments that really strengthen that individual as a whole. So, in other words, because a lot of you didn't really go out and see it, go out and see Steve Jobs. It's an excellent film and a must-see for 2015 because it truly is a 4-star movie. Please subscribe for more reviews as well as episodes of B&C Roundup and the Star Wars Project. And if you want to see more content with our people here, please go out and see Red Spotlight Entertainment. They do really amazing podcasts, there of which I am heavily and frequently featured. And go out and see B&C More, which is headed by our very own Giselle Gallegos, where we do very relaxed and challenge videos. Go out and check those out. Until next time, I am your host here as always, Alexis. And remember that you're always welcome to the Barely News crew, the place for all things movie news and reviews.